As the American Revolutionary War draws near, Jaime might lose a strong ally, while another mysterious new figure will join us in the upcoming episodes. We're 5 episodes into Outlander Season 6, and the dark clouds of mystery and possible disaster have already surrounded Fraser's Ridge settlers. Here's everything you need to know. First up, which key ally may leave Jaime's side and why? As we already know, Jaime is a good friend of Lord John Grey, and in the last episode, we saw the two reuniting. However, the purpose behind John Grey meeting Jaime was to find out whether Jaime was loyal to the king or not. Initially, we watched Jaime lie to his friend, and it seemed like he'd always been on John's side. But Jaime knows something John doesn't, thanks to Brianna and Claire, which changes Jaime's decision. While John believes that his friend is not going anywhere, Jaime decides to come clean. He confesses that he is planning to attend a Sons of Liberty meeting. This sudden revelation leaves Lord John distraught, and he can't really understand what it is that his friend needs freedom from. Understanding is one thing. Lord John is unable to ignore the whole situation. Being Jaime's friend doesn't mean that he can go against the king and let the rebels do whatever they want. He promises Jaime that he'll stall the Redcoats as much as he can before they raid the meeting. However, he can't stop them altogether. This difference of opinion has drawn a line between these two friends, and it seems like they're now on opposite sides. Even though Jaime and John have had their differences since the beginning, however, John has always been a strong ally, not only for Jaime, but for all the Frasers. Not just that, John is also raising and taking care of Jaime's son. With all this, if the two are now on different sides, it'll be a more extensive loss for the Frasers. Who was that mysterious figure at the end of episode 5? A threat or an ally? In episode 5, we got some hints about the involvement of time travel once again in the storyline. If you remember, Flora McDonald had lost her necklace, however, it was later recovered, but one of its jewels was missing. So what does a missing jewel mean? Someone is trying to time travel through the stones by using the gemstone. And by the end of the episode, this theory of ours might have actually been marked as accurate. We say this because a mysterious figure was shown at the end of Give Me Liberty, and it seems like another time traveler is present, but in a thrilling way. Another proof that there's another time traveler in the mix is that while Jaime and Claire were busy preparing to go back to Fraser's Ridge, Claire heard someone whistle a familiar song. However, she ignored it, thinking it was the wind, but a major mystery would have been resolved if she hadn't dismissed it. The tune that someone whistles was Colonel Bogey's March, and just so you know, it came out in 1914. So how can someone in the late 18th century whistle a tune that wasn't even released at the time? This makes enough of a hint about the identity of the mysterious figure. So who is this person? Now you must be curious who this man is because we're in the same situation. Instead of just being curious, we did some study and now we have 2 options. First is Wendigo Donner. He first appeared in season 5 and was a part of the group that kidnapped Claire. Not just that, he also revealed himself to Claire as a time traveler, but didn't help her out. Donner was originally a part of the group that traveled back in time in order to prevent the Native American genocides, and the people who kidnapped Claire weren't his partners. Now, if we study the timelines a little bit, we can make a stronger guess. Donner traveled back from 1968, and the song Colonel Bogey's March got widely famous in 1957 after it was incorporated into the film The Bridge on the River Kwai. So 1968 is the nearest to 1957, which means the possibility is there. All he wanted to do was to get the gemstones from Claire and go back to his original time, and the Whistler being near to where Claire was can also be a significant hint. We can't be 100% sure because we didn't get to see the man's face, but we believe this was all to show where Donner ended up after he vanished in season 5. While all the hints make us believe that the mysterious man was Donner, the possibility it's someone else entirely stays. It can be literally anyone who accidentally or purposefully stumbled upon the traveling stones, has a gemstone with him, and has the proper biology. But honestly speaking, it's hard to believe that it can be someone other other than Donner. His story was left in between, and so many questions need to be answered about Donner. Now, let's dive into other Outlander Season 6 news. Will Lord John return in Episode 6, or has he vanished once again? David Berry portrays Lord John, and his reprisal of the role itself is pretty surprising for most fans. This is because Berry had given hints about leaving the show after Season 5 ended. Anyways, now that the character has made a comeback, we believe he'll be a part of the upcoming episodes as well. We believe this is because he now has a purpose, and that is to stall the Redcoats from reaching the meeting earlier than planned. Not just that, him being on the opposite side of Jamie itself is a hint that the character will now be majorly involved in the upcoming storyline. We wonder whether the two friends will come face to face as enemies this time. We'll have to wait and watch. Is there any spoiler in the Episode 6 promo? Episode 6 promo may not have too many spoilers, but it does make it clear that Fraser's Ridge is under the attack of severe sickness. The promo doesn't tell what the disease is, but we do know Claire has figured out that the illness is contagious, and there's little to nothing that she can do to save these people. The promo even shows that Claire catches the disease as she runs a high fever. At the same time, Jamie and Malva are not getting up to any good either. Now we have a question. Is this actually happening at Fraser's Ridge, or is some character hallucinating all of this? Other than the promo, we also have the official synopsis of Episode 6. The outline also talks about this contagious illness and how it's spreading all around the Ridge. It also states that Claire's life is in danger, which means the next episode will tell us whether she succeeds in fighting off the disease or not. What confuses us is that Claire is from the future, which means she is vaccinated against almost all such diseases. Then how can she get sick? Is it some disease that future people didn't know about and the vaccine was never created? Or is it something totally incurable? Only Episode 6 will tell us. In the promo, we see that Malva appears in order to comfort Jamie. Does it mean that Malva was waiting for this moment? Claire is seriously sick, which means Jamie will be all alone. Or maybe not. We already know that Malva is not there to be helpful or kind toward Jamie. Instead, she is actually a threat. She's after something, and we believe she wants to become the crack between Jamie and Claire's relationship. Will she succeed? We genuinely wonder. The synopsis also tells us that the Christies will drop a bombshell. Like, not a literal bomb, but they'll be revealing some secret. What could this bombshell be about? Is it about what Malva and Jamie are up to? Is it about Claire seeing the two sleeping with each other? But then again, there's another possibility. We're certain that Malva has slept with at least one man at the Ridge. So is she pregnant? And that's the surprise we're getting in the next episode? We'll only know after the episode airs this Sunday. Lastly, Episode 6 images also tell a bit about what to expect. Along with the promo and synopsis, some images of Episode 6 are also out. If you look at these images carefully, you'll know that they also give hints about the upcoming storyline. In the images, we can see that Roger is still active as a minister, and apparently he's been called to speak at some funeral. The funerals are probably of the ones who died of the contagious disease, and we're hoping to see church service just like it happens in the books. If you've read A Breath of Snow and Ashes, you'll definitely know which service we mean here. Other than this, the images give no hints about Malva and her storyline. It's possible that even in Episode 6, she'll continue to work on her plan without letting others know. For now, this is everything we've got for all the Outlander fans. There are so many questions that'll probably get answered in the next episode. Do share your theories about the mysterious man that appeared at the end of Episode 5 in the comments below. We'll be back with more content soon. Till then, stay safe and stay healthy. Goodbye!